Hello, this is Curtis from Beyond Backtesting, and I'd like to thank you for your time and share with you over the next 20 minutes or so BeyondBot, the automated discretionary trading solution, and at the end we'll share how you can get your copy. So, but first, let's take a look at this risk disclaimer. Futures trading is risky and not suitable for everyone. Please read this in its entirety. Hypothetical performance results may have inherent limitations, and you are ultimately responsible for all of your losses, and not myself, obviously. And you need to test everything out in market replay and know what you're doing. Okay, basic stuff there. Get that out of the way. Important. This is BeyondBot. Okay, this is NinjaTrader 8. This is if you are on my list, you probably are on my list from an Orderflow Pro or from Beyond Backtesting. And we have, for the last 5 years or so, I've talked about how to combine discretionary trading with algorithmic trading, and how we can, because we know that discretionary trading does certain things well. We know that algorithmic trading or quantitative trading does certain things well, and it's been my focus to figure out how I can merge those abilities. And I think this is certainly, this is certainly the most advanced form I've created. So what I want to do is go through each point in the email and help you to understand how that you can use this to benefit your trading, and to also demonstrate that it's real. So partially automate your discretionary trading, point number one. And when I shared this with a money manager, he was like, he didn't really understand it. He was like, I don't understand how that could be automated discretionary trading. And yes, it's real. And in fact, we support 3 to 5 styles of specific types of discretionary trading. So not just one style of discretionary trading. I've actually looked at most of the dominant styles and identified ways we can improve it through automated discretionary trading. And this is unlike anything you've probably seen, because there's nothing else like this. In fact, I offered a programmer, a friend of mine, $5,000 to develop this for me, and he said, no thanks. Plus a percentage of any profits from sales. So you're not going to pay anything like that. It's going to be nowhere close to that, so don't let that put you off. But when I say there's nothing like this, I've looked, and I believe that to be the case. So what we have here is market replay, and we can arm and disarm strategies, okay, in real time. We can arm strategies that are best suited for the current market conditions. And there are different types of strategies too. We'll talk about that a little bit, but there are some strategies that you could run automated, and some strategies you could run fully automated. And those strategies are, you may just manage the exits. That's one form of discretionary trading, okay? You may just identify, okay, the market's looking a little more bullish. You could do this very quickly in the morning before work, and you're kind of tuning the strategies just for the market, okay? That's one style. But if you want to be more active, and I'm a tape reader, and you want to be able to place an order quickly, you're going to have you're going to build different types of algos, okay? These are going to be more order entry algos. These are going to be more invariants, and I'll talk about that, where you wouldn't necessarily leave them to run all the time, because you're basing it more on your read, but you're getting the benefits of algorithmic execution, which is where the speed comes in. But you're also getting something, when I talk about point two, I talk about prove out, and I'm going to play this so we can see some orders going off here. But I talk about prove out where you have a consistent edge with greater confidence than you've ever had, okay? And if myself, if I, or if somebody came to me and said, look, I made $5,000 using market replay, and the number doesn't matter, just to say they had a certain performance, and I said, well, what were your rules? And I said, I didn't have any rules. That doesn't mean a lot to me. Doesn't mean anything really, because I know that it doesn't mean anything, because I don't know if they can do it again or if not. And in most cases, they can't. If they come to me and say, "Look, I had a $500 daily loss limit," okay, so I had some rules. If they come to me and say I had some rules, now it means a little bit more, but not a lot, because even though they probably identify some things that were working in the market, as soon as myself, this goes for myself as well, as soon as we're down a little bit of money in the live markets, we lose confidence, okay, because we don't know exactly what we're doing. Okay, if they come to me and say, "Look, I bought every when I executed with algorithmic precision, and I only traded when this very specific setup occurred, maybe a break of a 5 minute high." Okay, now I could, and I had a $500 daily loss limit, and I was disciplined. Now it starts to mean something because now the probability is they know exactly what they're trying to do, or you will know exactly what you're trying to do if you're doing this. And with this system, you'll have algorithmic precision. So when we talk about edge, we can talk about two different types of strategies that you can arm and disarm. Some strategies are very selective. They have enough edge where you can run them fully automated, okay, fully, and you manage the exits. You maybe tweak them. You adjust them for the environment. Now another type of strategy that you can run, and I can show you this. I'll fix this button. This is just a minor visual thing. But I can hit this auto trail stop, and once we're up 10 ticks, it'll start to auto trail that at 9 ticks. Now I'll move up my targets. I've again this quick button here, which allows me to quickly move it. I can move it by 1 tick. I have keyboard shortcuts, which allow me to move it quickly. This system supports out of the box three targets, and you will get the source code, which means you can customize it to however suits your style of trading. But if going back to the point about proving out if you have an edge, if you can execute with algorithmic precision and specific setups and achieve a certain result, that's going to mean a lot more, right? But again, to the types of tradings, this styles this supports, if you're very active style, okay, you're going to be probably just arming the strategies as you see the market. They're going to be very short-term strategies that are very short, and they're going to have they're not going to have enough edge where you would run them without your read. It's basically a prior. It's basically a type of a prior. By prior, I mean that it's based on a condition in the market, okay? And you would not run those auto, okay? You're going to arm those, and then you'll disable them when you're not watching the market. Now, so again, some types of strategies that you can create will be they'll have more edge, and they'll be more selective, and you'll arm them, and it might take them a while to set up. So that's two different styles right there. So again, one style is a very quick entry, less edge, but maybe more suitable for very active trading styles. Second style that it supports is you're evaluating the general conditions. You're maybe setting the arming the long or the short side more based on the conditions. Now, of course, we can click this break even and goes straight there. We have the ability to close out trades. We can change our tier size as well. Just demonstrate some of the stuff as we go through here. So we have the ability, again, to adjust our targets and stops. And if you were to try to do this with a NinjaTrader, then without this type of with what we've built here, the strategy will just move the order back. So this is we're adjusting the strategy, and this is why I had to build this so we could do this. Now, I have the ability also to make a discretionary close. I can say, okay, limit, close it. Okay, pull it down to limit, let it close out, or I can also just close it manually. Canceled. So again, we're able to interact with the system in a very fluid way, which is going to be important, right? I want to show you something else. We have the tier sizes here. Let's talk about point 3 just for a quick moment, though. Execute faster than any click trader and compete in today's algorithmic market. So it takes around 250 milliseconds for a human being to process or make the click a button. That's about average, okay? Now, if you play these brain games, then you may get down to 75 milliseconds, okay? And that's basically as fast as you can respond. There's no thinking, and you're not going to add very much edge or insight in that type of. Certainly, anything you could do in that time frame, you could automate, because it's going to have to be almost like I see green, I click the button, right? It's just so minimal. Now, computers are thousands, millions of times faster, billions even. I mean, they operate and can send the orders in milliseconds. So the speed advantage is very relevant, and I can share with you that last week I was actually running an auto strategy, And part of this has been developed out of from my actual experiences and trying to combine various algorithmic edges with my tape read. And one of the things I found was I was getting in behind the algos, and I was getting chopped up because the algos were I was late, even though I seen the signal, evaluated it, seen it was a good signal. My entries were late, and just to prove out the point, one of my algos was in and out of the market. Basically, it bought and sold in 10 seconds. Okay, you say, okay, 10 seconds. What did it capture in 10 seconds? In the MES, it captured, it captured 2 points in 10 seconds. So we're not talking about just necessary ticks. We're talking about potentially real trades. Now, so that's the type of advantage you can get. And here's another thing side to that too. If you're trading anywhere in the world, you could choose to co-locate this box in Chicago and have that advantage over even other systematic traders. Okay, it's certainly not required, but it's certainly something you could do in the future if you get to that level. I'm not doing that, but it's something I'm thinking about. So you get basically you're able to execute with that tremendous speed, but also you can consider all the factors that you can program into your strategies, okay? So that you're evaluating everything very precisely in this and having that algorithmic advantage on the speed of execution. Now, what's interesting is sometimes, and actually oftentimes, I have found that I can manage the exits sometimes a little better than the entries, and usually the entries are more time sensitive, and that holds true until we hit the point where we reverse on the trade. The entries tend to be more time sensitive, which means that if you're a tape reader, if you're using discretion, you have a greater capability to add some edge in the exit management. And right here we're just showing the one target, but the system with just a click of a button, I can actually show you 3 targets. It's just the property set. I might want to change it now because of the market replay and all of it. So you could choose to have, let the computer manage the first one, and then you discretionary manage the second and third one. Whatever works for you, and you can prove this out in the market replay. This is an advanced system. You would not take this thing live in the market, right? You would prove it out in the replay, prove out your methods, develop your algorithms. We'll talk about that. Then you start it on once you've demonstrated yourself in the replay and you're comfortable with the risk, you prove it out on something like the MES and scale it up to the ES. So you can do this with very little capital. So we talked about basically 2 styles of discretionary trading. One style is where you arm the strategies and you execute based on the very temporal conditions, okay, of the market, and you're using more of your bias and the market overall environments to execute these strategies. Second type of a trading strategy is you're just arming. The strategies are more selective. You're maybe weighting the long side a little heavier, maybe weighting the short side a little heavier, maybe arming certain strategies for certain conditions. Again, there's a great capability here to develop new types of edges. But let me show you something else we can do too. This is something I want to get to. We can actually do more of a set and forget style of trading. So what we can do is we can draw regions, okay? Identify areas of value in the market, okay? And actually many day traders have more success just finding some areas of value in their pre-market or their prior day, and just basically putting their orders in for their where they've identified a great setup. And actually many beginners, and also even more experienced day traders often will find that method is more consistent than actually watching the market, because there are a lot of difficulties when you watch the market. You can get scared when it comes into your level because the market's going down. Or you lose patience. The problem with identifying the levels, and I did that very successfully. Often I can identify the level within 1 tick of when the market reverses. The problem is that it's a single factor trade, and it's very hard to get confidence when you only have your only bias for that basis for a trade is value. Okay, that's your basis for that trade, and it's very hard to get any type of confidence to execute. So even though can do that, it doesn't mean that I do that, because it's hard to get the confidence. Now, this is where this changes, because what we can do here is we can identify areas of value with the region. Okay, all we have to do is draw a region, and then we have to set it, just give it the tag of buy, and that's how the system identifies it. Now what we can do is I can say region inside. Okay, this will lock, this creates a filter so that our strategy, I can manually close it. I can draw another region. Okay, drawing tools, region. This will limit the strategies, right, to only execute within our regions. Okay, I'll load the short template, which is just a color scheme, apply it. Okay, now we have this region inside checked. Now the system, even though it's armed, we have a filter here. Okay, we have a filter which will, so we can identify an area in the market where we think the market will reverse, and then the system will wait and will ignore any setups that occur outside of that area of value. And for this particular style of trading, we can also do an auto disarm after we take one trade in this zone, or 2 trades, or 3 trades. And again, you'll get the source code if you choose to purchase this, and so you can change that to however you want that to work. But this is a very powerful feature as well. Now, this is multi-factor edges. Let's talk about this multi-factor. This is the set and forget style, but we're also talking about multi-factor edges here. So, and multi-factor edge is something you hear about a lot from a lot of money managers and a lot of quant work today. Is basically you're combining different types of edges. Okay, now if you know, but if you know, okay, you're pretty good at identifying value. Okay, areas where the market bounces. Now, if you can identify an algorithm that trades well in those areas, okay, now you have something multi-factor. Maybe you can even have the algo look at data that you don't even look at. It can actually even increase it. So, for example, if you're looking at market profile, volume areas on a daily basis or on a longer term basis, the strategy could be watching a range chart, a very micro 10 range chart or a 5-minute chart for the signal. And on something like this as well, you can, again, we talk about the edges. You don't have to have necessarily the best edge in the world to be able to take advantage of this. You could find a coincident type of an edge, which basically means it may not be predictive, but it means that if you have this in the market, then you will get a bounce. Okay. If you've already identified an area of value, you may look for a coincident type of an edge, which would be simply some kind of reversal pattern, right? You may also be able to identify, when we talk about as a discretionary trader, most discretionary traders do not do well if they're looking at a lot of different indicators. But a computer, if you could, with the back testing, you could say, okay, check 5 different indicators, right? And to find out, to identify the highest probability trades. Okay, so that gives you multi-factor edge. Okay, and we can also talk on point number 4, and at least in the copy I have, we're talking about achieve beyond human levels of efficiency, patience, discipline, breadth of focus. So, if again, this set and forget style can be very effective for many traders. It doesn't take a lot of time. You don't have to watch the market, but the problem is that it's a single factor trade, right? So this allows the computer to watch the market 24 hours a day in your area of value until the pristine conditions occur. And again, if you watch the market, many traders actually find that they do not trade as well when they watch the market in this type of a style, because they don't have the discipline to pull the trigger, right? This takes out the equation, because the computer executes with algorithmic precision. As soon as the trade is triggered, it is taken. Okay. so so again, you're getting the speed advantage as soon as the pattern occurs. You're getting the algorithmic speed, but you're also getting the discipline, right? You're getting the efficiency that where you can set that area, and if it doesn't come up one day, no problem. You know trades were taken, right? If you want to trade more actively, of course, you can always adjust these intraday, right? If you identify the market moving, you can say, okay, well, maybe it moved, so you can determine how active you want to be with it. If you want to be less active, right, and you can, of course, I can do a quick target move here with my quick move button. I can,
Order filled.
I can manage the trade as I see fit. Now, and again, same for the short side here. If the market comes up here, it will take a short. We have a couple other. We can do it's now the strategy is disarmed actually because we've done a one arm. I believe that's show the info here, so we have the ability to see the info. Auto disarm true. Okay, so the strategy is disarmed because it took its one trade. So if you wanted to set this area up in advance, then you could set this trade up in advance. Have it, when it identifies the signal, takes it, shuts itself down, so you don't have to worry about if it takes a lot of trades in there. Now you may find, and this is something that's where we're talking about develop new types of trade styles. You may find that, hey, look, you can actually generate several successful trades in these areas of value that you identify, and that is where you can develop new styles of trading. Okay, to where they're not even really in the vocabulary discretionary trader with the existing techniques available. So this has a lot of potential. Now we've been about 20 minutes, and I think we've covered quite a bit. You've seen that we can arm trades to specific regions. We can manage the targets. Let me show you this. We're talking about the full auto. So within the strategy, okay, I've created it, the buttons, everything I've created so that it can be modified quickly. Okay, if even if you know how to create buttons, okay, in the NinjaTrader platform, there's a lot of when you try to move them around, there's a lot of different typing and code involved. I've actually simplified that down with my code where you can just insert the buttons very quickly. You can reorder them, move them, customize it, and the strategies are based on or organized in such a way that we get a lot of reuse. So if you're doing automated trading, you can use this as well, but to support some of the automated functionality, some of the common functionality that you would need for your automated systems. We can restrict the times. We can we change our target tiers. Let me show you this. So what I can do here is I can change the per entry execution, by strategy, unique entries, and now we can see we can see enable this. We can see the multi-target capability real quick. Okay, so we'll see if the strategy is currently because we armed it. It's currently, as if I can get it to trigger. So let's talk a little bit about this. I don't know if it's playing here. Yeah, I guess it is. It's just a very slow time in the market.
Order submitted.
So here we have our multi-targets. 3 contracts here, 3 stops. And I may have moved not sure where
Target filled.
that third target went, but we have that capability. We can adjust the targets, trade with multiple targets, break even stops. A lot of capability here. Let's talk about how to get this. And so currently, okay, you've seen what it can do, okay, and we'll talk about how this works. So we can, of course, close
Order
that.
canceled.
So,
submitted.
yeah, I don't know why I don't see that third, maybe because it taken it out, but I don't see that third contract there. Well, let's talk about how you get this. So it's probably just a minor setting thing. Um, so let's get the link. Okay, I just pulled a link up here. You're going to go to this link here, sitesfastspring.com, Orderflow product beyond bot. This is Orderflow-Pro, my other site. Refresh that. The standard pricing is going to be $684, and that's for the introductory. It's going to probably go up to about $1150 at some point. But because we're in the initial stages and that everything's not set up yet, it's going to be $584. Before you purchase it, let me explain a few points here now. Really critical here. You're going to get the source code, okay? And you're expected, okay? There's a catch. You're expected to code your own algos, okay? You're going to have to modify this for your purposes. Now, what's nice is the way I've organized the source code is the strategies are organized very clean, okay? You're going to see that. There's a lot of code here, but it's organized very clean, very professionally, and that's going to make it easier for you to create your own algos, okay, your own strategies. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually create a recipe. This is not completed yet. I'm going to create a recipe. Again, this is your price today. This is the discount, $584 versus $684, and then eventually it's going to be probably around $1150. But $584 is your price today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a recipe book, and what we're going to do is I'm going to also show you how to code faster and how you can be more efficient, okay? And can be quite efficient in Ninja, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a recipe book of everything that you would need. I've done this in other languages. I've done this in Python, and you'll see that you can actually program a lot of times faster than you could use some of those click builders. So we're creating a recipe book. Again, this is to do. It's not available yet. Okay. You're going to get the source code. Okay. You're going to be expected to code your own algos. You're going to have to do some work. Okay. You're going to need to test out everything within your system. You're going to get lifetime updates for this platform. Okay. The platform code. Potentially not all updates, but in terms of the base, if I do something that's much different, you wouldn't get that. But in terms of source code updates, there's more coming down. You're going to get those. Okay. I'm going to create a community. This is to do. It's not available yet. Again, why it's discounted, to where we can share of Beyond Bot traders. Okay, where we can share and collaborate and find out and have a place where we can learn from each other who are trying to do this. Okay, and so let's talk about the terms of service real quick, because I haven't added it here, so you have to agree to it here if you're going to do that until we can get it added. So if you, by agreeing to purchase this, you obviously agree not to redistribute it or build a competing product. You have the source code. Okay, so obviously it's very easy for you to do that. Build a competing product for free or commercial. Okay, obviously I don't want my source code distributed for free. Put a lot of work into it. You agree not to hold me liable for any losses. Okay, you're fully responsible for your losses. Okay, any losses you experience. So you need to test this out, and I'm in the process of testing everything out. I've tested about 85% of it. I'm adding more functionality, but you need to, you have to test everything out. Okay, and be responsible. 3, source custom programming not included. Okay, the rate for that would be it may not even be available, but if it is available, it was probably $85 to $125 per hour. Support, email support is included. Okay, basic. we'll say, just a very basic level of support is included, very basic. Okay. And what I will be doing is creating a forum, okay, and an exclusive members area where I will be sharing setup information and other things to help you, right? That's not created yet. That's something I have to do, okay? And the documentation is forthcoming as well. So you're basically a beta tester. You're on the cutting edge here, and if you purchase, let's say this: there are no refunds. Again, no refunds because you get the source code. Obviously, that would be insane because you get the source code. And one of the advantages is you can run and deploy this on as many environments as you want. So provided they are your personal environments. So those are the terms, okay? Don't redistribute the source code. Don't give it away. Don't build competing products or free products. Don't be responsible for your losses. Test everything out in the replay. Again, it's a advanced system. Custom promo not included. Email support is included. Very basic. Very minimal. Of course, no refunds. You can run and deploy this on as many environments as you want. So again, you're getting for this is a great value because if this were a typical product, if you want to run it on 2 systems, you're going to be paying twice that, right? But not in this case. You're going to be able to run that on multiple systems. So this is the link. You go right here. This is the other product I built. It's a great product. I've currently taken it, made it unavailable for purchase because I have to do a new build and I didn't have time to do it. Getting this out as well. But it's a great product as well, and I may be doing something showing that in the future as well. We've got a lot of interest in that. So I think I've basically went over the entire all the points that were in the email, proved them out. One thing that I didn't talk as much about, if you want to do auto trading, again, I'm going to be adding additional functionality to the source code. This is actually going to be my blueprint for all my day trading systems, okay? I'm going to be adding daily loss limit, probably in bars losers. We already have time filters. We have two regional time filters now. I'm going to be adding up to 4. So if you're doing a day trading strategy, I have a special debug print with levels, so you'll see that if you're going to be building multiple day trading strategies, then what you'll find is that normally the strategy logic is only, in many cases, only a couple lines of code, okay? But all of the support logic is where your time is spent. And what I've created, and you'll see that if you get it, it's a very robust system where you can plug in different stops, okay? You can plug in different stops, different exits, okay? You can expand it, okay? And I'm going to be doing that over the next 1 to 4 weeks, and you'll be getting those updates. And once I've updated it and I've got the forms set up, then the price will go up to at least the 685, okay? So, or 684, whichever I said. So, I hope this is something that you found useful, and I think I'm very excited. Worked on it very diligently, and there's just a few things I need to do more with it that I want to get with the stops and things. But I'm going to get it to you. You can go ahead and start using it. Go ahead and start developing your strategies. Again, there are hooks. You can create these buttons. Again, I'm not going to show the source code, but you can. Everything is built to be very easy to do. Now you'll see it. Now everything's not documented in the source code, but you'll see as you go through it. Yet it's not documented yet, but as you go through it, you'll see that, hey, look, you can reorder this whole layout without having to recode everything. You're going to see that. And with these strategies, you could actually just go to these to the breakouts and reversals, go to that one piece of code and put in your 1 or 2 lines of custom code in that one or two places, and now it's set for you. Okay, so you don't have to rebuild the entire product, which is what the idea is, right? Is that you're getting reuse on this, and again, the way I see this working is you will build every prototype, every system, day trading system, eventually into this form, if you have even the that's how I'm going to do it. Now, however you want to do it, you can do it in different ways, and so you can be running multiple of these on different markets, different time frames. So this is the link. Okay, I'm going to leave that up there. And this is a limited time offer for this 584. You'll get the source code immediately, and thank you. That's it.